Once upon a time there was a shoemaker and his wife. They were very poor because they had no money to buy leather to make shoes. One windy night the shoemaker was cutting out his last piece of leather. "Come to bed, my dear," said his wife. "The fire is going out and we have no more wood." So he left the leather on his workbench and went to bed. Ding dong, ding dong, the clock struck midnight. Suddenly 2 little elves peeked into the shop, jumped up on to the workbench, and they started to make the most amazing pair of shoes. As they did this, they sang a song. "Help the shoemaker, we must sew to sell some shoes to make some dough. We have no clothes, but we don't care. Our hands are cold and our feet are bare." The next morning the shoemaker woke up and he went downstairs and saw the most beautiful shoes. He told his wife and he couldn't believe her eyes. So he put the shoes in the window of the shop. Suddenly a really posh lady came past the shop. "Oh, look at those lovely old shoes, pink shoes." So she went into the shop and tried the shoes on, and they fitted perfectly. She gave the shoemaker more money than they cost because she was so happy with them. So the shoemaker put his coat on and went outside. He was able to get leather for 2 pairs of shoes and some wood for the fire. The shoemaker and his wife had some fish and chips in front of the fire. "I will get up early tomorrow to make the new shoes. It has been an exciting day," said the shoemaker to his wife. So they went to bed very happily. Ding dong, ding dong, the clock struck midnight. Suddenly the same little elves appeared again, and they started to make 2 amazing pairs of shoes. As they did this, they sang a song. "Help the shoemaker, we must sew to sell his shoes to make some dough. We have no clothes, but we don't care. Our hands are cold and our feet are bare." They jumped out the window and ran away before the sun came up. The next morning, the shoemaker and his wife woke up, went downstairs, and they couldn't believe their eyes. Again, there were 2 of the most beautiful coloured shoes they had even seen. The wife said, "Who is making these shoes?" We need to find out. They put the shoes proudly into the shop window. A very posh man came past the shop and he said, "Wow, look at those amazing shoes. I must have them." So he went into the shop. Can I try those lovely red shoes on, please?" He did, and they fitted him perfectly. "Take that. I will take them and the lovely green slippers for my wife too," he declared. He paid the shoemaker £10, but the shoes only cost £7. So they had a lot of extra money. That afternoon, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather to make 3 pairs of shoes and a lot more wood for the fire. At dinner time, they were wondering who was making these beautiful shoes. His wife had a brilliant idea. "Let us stay awake tonight, my dear. We can hide under the table. We must find out who is making us these wonderful shoes." So they had hid under the table. Ding dong, the clock struck midnight. Suddenly, the 2 little elves peeped in again, and the shoemaker and his wife saw how small they were and how cold they must have been, as they had no shoes and very old clothes. But they made 3 beautiful pairs of shoes, and as they did this, they sang their little old song. "Help the shoemaker, we must sew shoes, send some shoes to make some dough. We have no clothes, but we don't care. Our hands are cold and our feet are bare." The next morning, the shoemaker heard he was on the news with his amazing shoes. When they opened the curtains, he saw hundreds of people waiting to come in. Even the royal family had seen them on the news and came to visit them. That day, the shoemaker sold all of his shoes and made so much money he would never be poor again. That evening, his wife said, "Those poor little elves have no shoes and clothes. They have helped us so much. We should thank them in return. Why don't you go and make them some shoes, and I'll make them some clothes." finished their elf clothes and laid them on the workbench. Ding dong, the clock struck midnight. Suddenly, two little elves appeared once more. Then they saw their beautiful new clothes. "We are smart elves now. We will never get cold again," they said, and they jumped out of the window, never to be seen again. And the shoemaker and his wife were happy to have helped them, and they all lived happily ever after. The end.